Okay, so this is the Cine-Larva or Larva-4K, and I posted this on my Instagram a while back, and I wasn't really going to make a video about this, but there was a lot of people asking about this, so let's go ahead and explain how I put this together, although I don't recommend you put this together like this because it's kind of heavy, and the only reason I did this is because I was planning to move I have a Larva-X, and I wanted to use this frame for this setup here, and I was going to move all the parts over from my Larva-X to a different frame, and I was going to try some different motors out. So I ended up having this bottom plate that was just sitting around, so I decided, well, I had the Cine-Can from Eachine. This is basically what this looks like, and all the parts are from the Cine-Can except for the bottom plate, which came from the Larva-X. And I just moved it all over to this frame, and it all kind of fits, barely. Obviously the frame is meant for 2.5-inch props, but because of the canopy and the way the props are here, the camera can't use a 2.5-inch prop in the front because of where the canopy is. You could raise up the canopy if you decide to build this and then use a 2.5-inch prop. It should be fine, but I didn't really feel like going through all the trouble. I just wanted to see if the jello problems would go away using a solid bottom plate instead of the plastic frame, and I think that I've solved those problems. You'll see that in the flight footage here in a second. But this is the thing that people were asking about. How did I get the canopy onto the frame? And it's just this little part right here. And not sure if you're going to be able to see that all that clearly. It's a piece of plastic that came from the Mobula 7 HD frame that allows you to basically mount the flight controller and the canopy. So that little piece there is mounted to the frame, the bottom plate, and then that has a little spot there for the rubber grommet, as you can see. It's hard to see there. And then there's a piece that lets the screw into that plastic piece that holds the canopy on, and the canopy is, let's see that, I believe the canopy is what's actually holding the Tarsier camera as well as the video transmitter. That's all attached to the canopy, I believe. And then I just put a zip tie here in the back to secure the back part of this canopy, so it's not, basically the whole thing is, the whole canopy is held onto the bottom with just a screw here on this side and on the other side, and this zip tie. The front is completely floating, and if I don't put the zip tie here, then the prop can run the chance of hitting the bottom of the canopy in the front here. Right now, not really much of a chance of it hitting, but it was a little bit lower before without the zip tie there, so it was a lot closer in that gap there. So that's why I put that zip tie here in the back, like that. So that will, basically these 3 points keeps the canopy pretty solid, doesn't move around too much. And then I added a small piece of foam back there behind the camera and in front of the flight controller that basically keeps the front part steady so it doesn't vibrate or move around too much. And I think pretty much there's no jello now. You guys can look at the footage of the Cine-Can from before and how blurry that footage was compared to me flying this around pretty aggressively, doing power loops and all that. Don't see much jello in the footage, and this is without even doing any PID tuning changes. I just left it the way it came with the Cine-Can. There's obviously some D-term oscillation. I need to do some PID tuning, but I just haven't had time to do it. It seems to be good enough for just cruising around and doing a little bit of mild acrobatics. It doesn't have a lot of power because it's so heavy with a 2-inch prop. I really should have a 2.5-inch prop. So if you have a bigger bottom plate here and can go to a 2.5-inch or 3-inch prop, that would be better, but then you might get props in view of your 4K video. Anyway, so the footage that you're going to see is actually what is it, 1440p video in the 4x3, so you get the full sensor of the Tarsier camera, and then I use the Super View hack to convert the video from 4x3 to 16:9, so it looks like it's coming from a GoPro with Super View. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of that, and that's it for this one. If you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you later.